Just to start, before you joined Fast Track, what was your DeFi and investment experience like?
Oh, pretty much zero. I was aware of it. I had no idea what it. I see nothing. I knew of it. And I knew there was crypto. I knew, of course, Bitcoin and all that stuff. But as far as how it functioned and what it was intended to do and researching projects, I had no clue of that.
Tell me a little bit more detail.
I was curious and I dabbled. I lost pretty much lost it all. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was gone pretty quick because I didn't know what I was doing. I thought to myself, that's too bad. I could see the potential in the whole idea, but the scamming part of it was just so rampant that I left it alone until I ran into Lucas's videos. It wasn't via crypto. He's just putting stuff out there. I think he was living in Mexico or abroad at the time. And just listen to the stuff that he was talking about because I was very familiar with it, being living in Canada, and be able to relate to him and his kind of dissatisfaction with the system, which led to him talking about what he does. At first, I didn't join the group. I just watched the videos because he has a lot of content out there. Watching the videos, following the trail, learning and investigating. And maybe a year or so after that, I decided to commit to get involved with the UIG. And that was a really good decision because then I got information. Colin has a unique way of explaining stuff. He breaks it down really simple. First was the Maze token, and then he explained the highways, trying to explain the whole DeFi world. And he did an awesome job. It made sense to me. So that's when my journey started. I didn't do anything at the time. I was just watching. I still had the fear from prior. So I didn't want to jump in and do anything until I was coming out in my mind. And after that, it was just a matter of taking the chance. But every step of the way, everything's explained. You're never really guessing. If I wasn't sure, that I'll go over and look at it again. Because the one thing about you guys is you always record everything. Getting that replay has been a real bonus for me personally.
After being a Fast Track member and being in the UIG for a while now, what is your DeFi portfolio looking like?
It's built on something solid. Basically, it's what it is. My goal was once I committed, both first to do this and then to get into Fast Track, was to have that foundation steady because I didn't want to go through all this work and have it all disappear for some reason. I'm not aware of how to do security on a wallet. Little things like that, which we take for granted. But I wanted to make sure I had the structures set up in a sustainable way. And that's what the Fast Track was able to do for me, different ideas and how to combine stuff and just keep my mind open because you guys just seem to live and breathe this stuff and going, wow, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, you said it. I'm curious, where do you fall on the spectrum of risk profile as an investor?
I will say
Britt?
I'm not a DJ kind of, I'm like, now I know what I know. I'm not going back to that. It's all based on focus on what I need to develop the skills and to build a portfolio. That does not really fit into my picture personally. That's just my take on it. So plus I have other options to play with. The other side of the coin is keeping me fairly busy and keeping my mind stimulated. Yeah.
I definitely explored some of the day trading coins. It just ended really badly.
I got a headache doing it. Just some of the stuff was just like, and plus, and I guess in hindsight, I didn't have anybody to walk me through like I had the opportunity with DeFi. So maybe if I had somebody walking me through all that stuff, I would have have a different mindset towards it, but I didn't. And maybe that's for the better. The DeFi part of it, coming to you guys and explaining it was all laid out really easy to follow. And like I told you before, it was a sense of value. I got a lot of value from what you guys are doing. A lot of value. So I still do.
Excellent. Yeah, because you've been with us for a long time now, haven't you? I don't have your file up.
It's been a few. It took me a while to get involved, and then once I did, it took me a while to go from the UIG to the Fast Track. And at the time doing it, I was still. It was, honestly, it was a doubt in my mind. Even though I knew this is good, this is for the better. But then once I got into it and getting exposed to the dialogue that's happening, I go, okay, I get it. Because some of the stuff they talk about, I just have to sit there and listen because it's just so much information to take in and it's all good stuff. I'm busy trying to put the puzzles in the right spots when they're talking about different concepts. So again, thus the replay is helping me be able to listen to it the second time around and be more like yesterday they had one like I was mentioning earlier on about the strategies of setting up a play and whether to go long or short, depending on what's going on. And at the end of it, I end up walking away with some really good ideas for myself. Okay, this is possible. I'm starting to see how I could take those ideas and started working it into what I want to achieve. Starting that when I started that whole process, I had no clue what this was all about, but just by learning step by step and watching, showing up, I guess is probably one way of putting it. And getting involved as far as listening to the recordings had really helped me progress along to the point where it's definitely something I'm keeping in my strategy book. And once the market goes bearish, it will be one of the things I'll be pulling out. See, I know this one.
So you're saying you have a plan and you know what you're going to do regardless of which direction the market decides to turn.
That's what I've learned from you guys. You give me all those options.
I love it.
That's what, because and it's funny because all these themes have been talked about since I've been in the UAE, but the depth of each one of those conversations now is a lot more. We always knew there's employment loss and certain risk factors that go with the industry. But the conversation is like yesterday, I said how to set up a play. And if you're hedging, you could hedge like long or short and cover your initial investment. To me, these are stuff that used to make my head hurt before. Now I'm digesting,
Yes,
I'm getting the concept of what everybody's talking about. It's been amazing for me. I have nothing but praises. I've gotten value for everything you guys put out of content, and I get value from all of it.
excellent. What do you think is the biggest thing you've learned from fast track programs specifically?
Several, but I'm learning a lot of skills. So if for whatever strange reason you guys are not here, I'm not able to be part of it, I am confident I could survive on my own without the link to the community. But giving me the ideas to set up the foundation for a portfolio that meets my needs is probably the biggest takeaway I've gotten out of it. I'm confident that I know this is the area I should be in. These are skills I should be learning based on what's going on in that area, and I can focus on doing that and let the rest happen. Just keep following the rules. Yeah, it's been a really good time. I hope I get to meet all these people in person at some point, which I'm sure I will. It's been a really good time being part of the community. Because of my work schedule, like I mentioned, I'm not there live to a lot of the meetings, so I live in the replay world. But even through that, the information has been really valuable to help me develop this skill. I consider it being in a university.
I encourage everybody who joins to treat it as such. If you treat it like a college course, put in the time to study, take notes, ask questions, and
Yeah.
if you don't understand something, use the community. How valuable has the community aspect been for you?
Pretty good. Some of the challenges I faced, I realized that a lot of the things I didn't know personally. So what helped was just the repetition of watching some of the stuff over and over again. Because once I get to that part, there's somebody in the community that already asked the question that I was going to ask anyway. You just watch the video, oh, okay, that answers that question. Kind of thing. It's the community is always asking the questions, and you have a similar type mindset. Because stuff that I eventually come up to my mind, somebody already asked it, and you follow the breadcrumb type things. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, last question, Brent, and then we'll get out of here. If someone were on the fence about joining Fast Track, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, you know what, I can only talk from my experience. I had similar doubts, and it took a while for the process to go through my head. But at the end of the day, my experience and it still is, it is worth every penny of it. If you're here to learn and you want to get acquire the skills and you want to actually do this seriously as a business, you're not gonna find anywhere. I haven't really looking, but I don't think you find anywhere else what you guys put together here. There's always going to be an element of risk, of leap of faith of some sort. This one here, once you go through it, you realize that the scale, whatever scale you use, it'd be a lot less. Unless you come in here and don't do nothing, then I guess you will not get any value. But if your goal is to learn and understand DeFi and take advantage of the opportunity that's coming to all of us, then it's a no-brainer for me.
Beautiful words. Thank you very much, Brent. I think you said a lot of great things that are going to serve somebody who is on the fence about joining. So thank you very much.